Hey, peace. What's going on? Patrick, ConservativeRap, and let's get into some economics. Major financial, geopolitical shifts. Trump and the Patriots returning money to the Federal Reserve to pay down the national debt, and the restructuring of the economic landscape. You may have even heard of some of this as potentially historically a conspiracy, but you'll start to see more of it come to light, like the carbon tax agenda. It's all starting to come to light. Let's take a quick look at what's cooking. First, we'll start off on X. This is from Marco Rubio. This week, the UN is attempting to pass the first global carbon tax, which will increase energy, food, and fuel costs across the world. We will not allow the UN to tax American citizens and companies. If they have it their way, they'll be taxing us for oxygen. Under the leadership of President of the United States, the great Donald J. Trump, the U.S. will be a hard no on this nonsense. We call on our other nations to stand alongside the U.S. in defense of citizens and sovereignty. This is amazing. Now, let's move on to Trump's take on it. I am outraged that the International Maritime Organization is voting in London this week to pass a global carbon tax. The United States will not stand for this green new scam tax on shipping and not adhere to it in any way, shape, or form. We will not increase prices on American consumers or the creation of a green new scam bureaucracy to spend your money on their green dreams. Stand with the U.S. and vote no in London tomorrow. So again, this already occurred, but this is just a template example of why the deep state does not like Trump, because he doesn't go along with their agenda. And if you don't have the United States going along with the agenda, it stops everything in its tracks. Moving on to more Rust Belt investing. Trump tariff triumph. Stellantis to invest $13 billion in Rust Belt, bringing overseas production back to the United States. It's the beauty of tariffs. President Donald J. Trump's 25% tariffs on foreign-made cars have scored the nation's Rust Belt a major manufacturing victory as Stellantis announces $13 billion investment and plans to reshore production from overseas. On Wednesday, Stellantis said executives will be bringing the automaker back to the U.S. market, including $600 million to reopen Belvidere Assembly Plant in Illinois after having it closed under the Biden administration. This investment in the U.S., the single largest in the company's history, will drive our growth, strengthen our manufacturing footprint, and bring more American jobs to the states we call home, says Antonio Filosa, CEO, in a statement. As we begin our next 100 years, we are putting the customer at the center of our strategy, expanding our vehicle offerings, and giving them the freedom to choose the products they want and love. Stellantis executives noted that the $13 billion investment in the automaker's history in the United States, found that more than 5,000 auto jobs will be created in Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana as a result. Stellantis plans to return production to the U.S. of its Jeep Compass and Jeep Cherokee, both of which currently manufactured in foreign countries. Trump's tariffs seemingly played a critical role in getting Stellantis to reshore manufacturing to the United States, a goal of the president's when the tariffs were first enacted earlier this year. For example, Stellantis had been planning to make its Jeep Compass in Ontario, but now the Jeep Compass will be produced in Illinois. Amen, and awesome. Now I'm going to move on to this. First, I'm going to show you the clip, and then I'm going to get into some analysis by Joe Lange on X. New York City Mayor Adams established Digital Assets and Blockchain Office. The executive order creating the Office of Digital Assets and Blockchain Technology under the New York City government came 3 months before Eric Adams will leave office. This might be his most significant accomplishment. Similarly, Disrupt Africa shares U.S. banks start adopting blockchain analytics for compliance, boosting demand. Right. So let's get into the analysis. Here's Joe Lange. Here's a story I don't think anybody noticed. There's a mayor race going on in New York, and everyone's focused on Mondani, but no one's paying attention to what the current mayor of New York is doing on his way out the door. Have you heard of what Mayor Eric Adams just announced? The New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced the establishment of a municipal digital assets and blockchain office in a bid to cement his crypto agenda in the final months of his term. In a Tuesday notice from the mayor's office, Adams said he had used an executive order under his authority to create the Office of Digital Assets and Blockchain Technology. Moises Rendon, who has worked as a digital assets and blockchain policy advisor for New York City since April 24, will head the newly established office. And then it clips to the links I just shared with you. Doesn't that seem like a big deal? With less than 3 months left in office, Adams established a blockchain office and municipal digital assets. Why wait until the last minute? All part of a plan. It reminds me of Trump's move to put Chris Miller as head of the DOD right before he left office. Adams has been a big proponent of Bitcoin since he became mayor. I don't think that's a coincidence. Is Adam coordinating with Trump? Trump and Adams have been working together for a while now. Do you think the timing of this move after Trump pushed stablecoin legislation into law is just a coincidence? Why would the establishment of blockchain technology and digital assets be so important to New York? Timing is everything. Wall Street is in New York. So are the Wall Street banks. Do you know these banks are pushing Bitcoin technology? They are being forced to comply. New York's banking watchdog just raised the bar. Department of Financial Services, New York DFS, now requires all state-chartered banks and foreign branches to use blockchain analytics in their compliance programs. For the first time, traditional finance is being pushed into blockchain-level transparency. Why does it matter? It signals that regulators no longer treat digital assets as a passing fad. They're embedding crypto oversight into the heart of banking. Did you catch the 3 key words? Transparency, compliance, and oversight. The banking system, quote unquote, is being transformed before our eyes. Wall Street banks are being forced to comply with blockchain technology in order to create transparency and decentralization. Screening wallets, verifying sources of funds, and flagging sanction risks isn't just for exchanges anymore. Even legacy banks must adopt crypto-native monitoring tools like chain analysis now. This shift highlights a growing reality. Compliance drives adoption. And as oversight tightens, the demand for smarter, safer crypto wallets also grows. Compliance drives adoption. The Wall Street banks that used to control everything are now being forced into compliance. Superintendent Adrian Harris and the NYDFS have made it clear in their guidance. Every state-chartered bank and foreign branch in New York must fold blockchain analytics into their compliance stack. Tools like chain analysis or Elliptic, once reserved for crypto exchanges, are now part of traditional banking oversight. Blockchain technology is already being implemented in New York, and Mayor Adams is accelerating its use. Do you think the timing of this transformation is happening during a fast rally in gold and silver is just a coincidence? The COMEX exchange is also in New York. Industry analysis says New York's move could serve as a template for the regulators nationwide. Forcing banks into blockchain analytics, NYDFS is effectively normalizing these tools as part of a mainstream finance. What was once an edge case for crypto exchanges is now on track to become a standard across the nation's banking sector. The guidance leaves room for flexibility as each institution can tailor its framework to its size and appetite risk. And just quickly on gold, Bank of America raised its target to 5,000 a night and cites stagflation risk as the driver. So more from Joe Lange on this crypto initiative in New York. Do you understand how fast worldwide transformation of the financial system can happen? Where Wall Street goes, the entire world's financial system goes. If Wall Street banks are forced to comply by using decentralized blockchain technology for transparency and compliance, then whoever does business on Wall Street will be forced to comply also. Decentralization is actually the Achilles heel of the entire fiat system. Trump controls that system because he controls the Fed, the world's reserve currency, and Wall Street. Anybody doing business on Wall Street or in the U.S. will be forced to comply to the same standards and regulations. That will accelerate, quote unquote, worldwide into a decentralized financial system, which is transparent because it's on blockchain. Transformation, acceleration. And lastly, call me crazy, but did something massive just happen that we aren't being told? Read this story and ask yourself if we are being told the truth. Blockchain data showed stablecoin issuer Paxos both minted and burned 300 trillion tokens of PayPal USD stablecoin within 30 minutes, leaving many crypto users scratching their heads. And this was on, when was this? October 15th. But as Cointelegraph's Turner Wright explains, it appears to have been a big fat finger. In a Wednesday X post on the mint and burn, Chaos Labs founder Omer Goldberg said Aave could be temporarily freezing trades for PayPal USD after an unexpected high magnitude transaction of minting and burning the stablecoin. Ethereum blockchain data showed Paxos minting 300 trillion in the US pegged stablecoin at 712 and then burning the entire amount 22 minutes later by sending it to an inaccessible wallet. PYUSD pegged YY to the dollar makes the supply of the burned coins about 300 trillion. Do we know for sure that the wallet this PayPal stablecoin pegged to is really inaccessible? What if that's not true? Am I the only one that thinks that this is quite the coincidence that this minting and then burning of 300 trillion in stablecoins happened on PayPal? Isn't Peter Thiel a huge Trump supporter? Yes, he is. Didn't Elon Musk help develop PayPal? And do you think it's just a coincidence that the entire world is said to be in a debt by 300 trillion? Would it be crazy to think that the entire world's debt might have been somehow paid off within 22 minutes using a stablecoin? We are witnessing many things that just 9 years ago I never thought were possible, yet here we are. Wouldn't that be the most incredible thing you could possibly imagine? The entire world's debt wiped out, gone. I can dream at last. And then this is the link he clipped to, going into detail. I'll put this in the link for further analysis. But again, a new reality that we're walking into. Amidst all the narratives that are unfolding, we're witnessing a new economic world. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share. Check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more financial and economic news alongside the geopolitical shift to populist ethos. It's a wonderful time that we're living in. Thanks and take care.